What's going on, my broskies? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So as of the recording of this video right now, the Grand Voyage for the Baratie has just gone live, so hopefully we can start testing some teams today and see if we can find anything that actually works. But we're here to talk about the brand new data download that did arrive today with part 3 of the Sugo Fest with Ben Beckman and Lucky Roux. Now this one is going to be debuting here on September 2nd, 1900 PST time, so 2 days after the release of this video, and this Sugo Fest has 2 brand new Pirate Rumble Rare Recruit characters. We did get the icons of these characters yesterday, and we were determining where these characters were going to arrive. People threw out the opinion of potentially one of these characters being a Pirate Rumble character, the next one potentially being a free-to-play arena unit, but unfortunately both of them are restricted to Pirate Rumble. So, you know, if you want them, you can only pull them from these banners, but it does mean that, you know, moving forward, you can get them from future Pirate Rumble banners, so don't worry too much. And honestly, I don't think these units are going to see a lot of play, but we'll talk more about it as we go along. So with this Sugo Fest, you got a discount on the first step, which is pretty stock standard. You've got the Rumble Special and Ability Level Maxed character. That's interesting, you just get a unit with max Rumble abilities. Do note though that it doesn't restrict the character that you can pull from this, meaning that you can pull a generic Rare Recruit and it will just have max, you know, passive and special. So don't get like too caught up on that, because while that is really cool, if you do get a really good character out of that, yeah, it comes completely maxed, which is awesome. But it doesn't specify what type of character can actually drop from here. So it's going to be anything, but whatever you drop, it'll come with max abilities and stuff, which is actually pretty interesting. The third one, you get a Sugo Fest exclusive with Special and Rumble Ability Level 5. I've said this plenty of times before, but the amount of EXP that it takes you to get from 0 to 5 is just, it doesn't matter. Like, the amount of EXP, it doesn't really cost that much. So I think they should really up the ante. And honestly, any like guaranteed steps should just be like maxed abilities, because if you're wasting your gems for these Pirate Rumble banners, you're pulling for them to be used in Pirate Rumble, and I think that honestly you should have them come with max skills. That's my opinion on that anyway. I think it's kind of shitty that they only give you level 5. Number 4, you get a Pirate Rumble Sugo Fest only character, meaning that it can be a Sugo Fest exclusive that is restricted to Pirate Rumbles like Smoothie, Endeavor, etc. But also you've got access to all of the Pirate Rumble Rare Recruits. Now, not every PvP legend will be on the banner, at least to our knowledge right now. Likely they'll only select a couple of them to be available, so we'll have to wait and see who gets selected. But obviously we can see that Smoothie is one of the characters that you can get as she is on the banner, which is good. You know, Smoothie is probably the best Pirate Rumble legend on here in terms of regular content usage and in terms of usage in Pirate Rumble too. I still don't have her, so I'm definitely going to throw a couple of multis here and hopefully that we can walk out successfully, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, if you continue on, you get a guaranteed recommended character on the 5th, so that means you get one of these characters guaranteed on the banner artwork. So you've got, if you get a red, you get either Smoothie or Law, which is great, but golds will get you one of the 2 new units, Fujitora or Kizaru, or you can get Shiryu or Senor Pink. I don't own Senor Pink either, so I guess that could actually be kind of good. You've got another special max character at the 6th, and another one at the 7th, and then you've got another Pirate Rumble only character on the 8th, and of course it'll cycle all the way through to another recommended character on the 13th. Honestly, it doesn't look like an amazing banner, but it all comes down to what you actually are looking for. If you're looking for Smoothie and some of these other really powerful quick legends, like Law's on the banner, which is fantastic. My Law's actually level 150, so I don't need any more copies of that guy. But let's go ahead and break down what these characters actually do, because I know a lot of you guys are probably excited about that. So we've got Fujitora here, who is from Film Red, and in terms of his abilities, like, it's nothing really too exciting. Reducing defense by 50%, yeah, like, that's always useful, right? Also, reducing Threshold and Rainbow Shield by 2 turns, 90% damage reduction. He's Driven and Powerhouse as well. That is kind of intriguing. Okay, so let's check out his Rumble ability. So his Rumble ability is going to give your Driven teammates. Driven. That's an odd choice. I don't think that would have been my first choice for his abilities. I was hoping that both of these characters were shooter support because they desperately need it. But I think Fujitora makes a little bit more sense to be boosting Powerhouse, honestly. Powerhouse need a little bit more support. Like, Powerhouse are closer than Driven in terms of building actually a really good team. So I'm a bit disappointed that he's only boosting Driven. Let's see what he does though. So he gives Driven characters level 6 speed, level 6 defense, very bulky. and then for the first 30 seconds, he gives himself level 5 speed CT increase, only to himself. I would have preferred if that was like level 3 to the whole team, like, or just to Driven at least. Only to himself, so I really hope his special is good to warrant that. I mean, only giving himself CT. 29 CT for himself is a little, I guess it's fine, depends on what it does though. So he gives Driven teammates level 5 defense and level 5 guard rate up for 15 seconds, and then he targets 2 high attack enemies for 2.2 times attack up to 2 times. So I guess there is potential for this to be pretty good, but it is really focused on some of the other characters that you're bringing alongside Fujitora, because you need to make sure that you have some type of way to boost this guy's attack. Because, you know, he doesn't do it with his Rumble special, and he doesn't do it with his Rumble ability. So he's very defensively focused, but he does still do damage with his special. And if you want the most out of this, because he is so bulky by himself, you want to run very offensively focused Driven characters alongside him. I don't know too many characters off the top of my head that are focused on that. I think maybe Ulti Page 1, V2 Blackbeard is pretty good in Rumble. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know too much about Driven in Rumble. I haven't really used them too much, but I know that Driven are not one of the more common teams. I know that Raid Bellamy, for example, is used a little bit because he has a really low CT health cut, which is used, but ultimately, I am a little bit disappointed with what they decided to do here, just because, I mean, look, the class-based teams need all the support they can receive in Rumble, so I guess in the long term, yeah, this probably is a good idea, but I just don't think this is exactly what Driven needed, per se, right? They need more characters that can debuff other classes to give them more of a chance, not like trying to boost themselves up, because you can just have a bunch of characters that boost yourselves up, but you'll still die to Wano Law because he exists. So we need more characters that can suppress, some of those heavy hitters that really hurt their own teams. And this is not one of those characters, but he can still definitely see play in content in Pirate Rumble teams for Driven. So let's see, he targets the closest enemies, he does completely evade Action Bind, which is actually pretty good, and then Strength Damage Reduction. So ultimately, I think he's okay, but Driven aren't one of the teams that people are really trying to run right now in Pirate Rumble, at least not what I've seen, and any Driven team that I come across dies very, very easily. I know that you can run some, some hybrids with, like Strength Dofi, or a Strength Final Tap Kid, those characters that aren't really focusing on boosting Driven, but have really good abilities that can just do so much damage through defense. Building teams around those characters tends to work better than just building mono Driven in a sense. So I guess there could be some places where this guy could be kind of useful. But the next one here is Kizaru. I am very interested to see what they've done with Kizaru. Now, there's obviously a big issue with them releasing a Pirate Rumble Kizaru in the fact that shooters specifically already have a very good Kizaru character in their squad, and that character is the 6+ Kizaru. And the thing about him is that he helps them so much in terms of CT increase, launching specials very quickly, he buffs your shooters as well, and not only that, he also buffs slasher characters. So 6+ Kizaru is already a very valuable character, and now they're releasing this guy who's going to compete for a position on the shooter team. So I don't know how I feel about that. I would have preferred if they chose literally any other character. I mean, not literally any other character, but shooters really need all the support they can get in almost every facet of the game. So I don't know if this Kizaru is going to hold up, but I'm hoping. Anyways, as for his regular abilities, he's a shooter fighter. Reduce cooldown by 1 and does damage. This doesn't matter. Alright, let's check out the Rumble ability. Shooter class teammates, level 6 attack, level 6 speed. If current team is 6 teammates or more, he gives himself a further level 5 attack increase. Now look, if you're looking at straight comparisons between Kizaru and this Kizaru, talking about 6+ versus this guy, I think in terms of Rumble abilities, I do prefer 6+ Kizaru because he does provide a lot more. Actually, let me pull up real quick. What does he actually do, word for word? So 6+ Kizaru says that he gives a level 7 speed increase to slashers and shooters, which is kind of whatever. But for the first 40 seconds, he applies level 4 CT increase to slashers and shooters. That is the most key component there. So this guy is trading in speed, and, well, he actually gives you speed, so I suppose that's not an issue. But he's trading in the CT increase for an attack buff instead. Now, I guess one component about shooters that they kind of lack is damage. They don't have heavy, hard-hitting units. So I suppose this could be valuable, and the fact that he himself will provide level 11 attack, which I guess is not too bad from the start of the fight. Yeah, okay, it could be useful, but by making this Kizaru hit harder, and making your other units have a slightly higher attack buff, does that really trade in for having the CT increase of level 4 for your team? I don't know if that's a good trade-off, but hopefully the special's good. 27 CT, he targets 3 high attack shooter characters for level 6 attack, so further increasing their attack for 15 seconds. And then he targets 3 enemies for attack 1.1 times damage up to 3 times. And that's another thing, shooters have this really weird gimmick with them at the moment where they don't do a lot of damage, but they do heaps of hits, but it's like low damage hits, but lots of them. And we've noticed that with a few of the shooter characters that have released recently, and I don't know if I'm a big fan of that, because if they have really high defense, it means a lot of those little hits don't really do anything. But if you have like one hit that hits really hard, then you have a higher chance of, you know, getting a knockout out of that. And at least he does, you know, he targets the 3 high attack characters, which means if you're up against a really annoying enemy, you know, sometimes characters that are the big hard-hitting units have the highest attack, and you can just, you know, try and knock them out before they do damage to you. And that's well and good, but they don't have CT increase because you're replacing this guy on your shooter team. And shooters don't have a lot of good CT increases aside from that Kizaru. So I really hope that shooters specifically receive a character in the future that gives them a very huge CT increase. Hoping maybe like a Yasop character from Film Red potentially could be coming in the future that may help out the shooters in some way, shape, or form. That's what we're hoping for right now, because I don't know if this is really what shooters needed for them to take the next step into the meta. I have actually recorded a video of a shooter team with Beckman and Lucky Roo, and the team was okay, but it's lacking a few key components, and you guys will see that video over the next couple of days or so. But as for Kizaru, I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of what they decided to do with him in terms of Pirate Rumble abilities, but that is the Sugo Fest, and of course we've got the Smoothie, the Law, Senor Pink, who's actually still okay, and then also Shiryu. Shiryu actually has really good synergy between the Fujitora as well. I guess that's another thing, is that if you want to run like a mono Quick team, like Quick have a lot of pretty good driven units. You know, you got Tesoro with his level limit break, you've got Kaido, you got the new Shiri, or like the PvP Shiri. Like Quick and Driven have a pretty good overlap, so you could build a team around that. And then the fact this Kizaru is actually a quick unit is actually not too bad, because that was one of the components I was thinking about with the shooter team in Rumble, is that you got Beckman, you've got Kizaru, you've got Kuzan, right? Kuzan boosting Sai and Quick. You got Beckman who's quick, there's Kizaru who's a quick unit, there is overlap there. And that's the thing, even 6+ Kizaru was a Sai unit and worked with Kuzan too, so yeah, it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about the Pirate Rumble Film Red Sugo Fest down below in the comment section. I'm not really too certain how I feel about it. I think that these characters, like, they're okay, and they're actually, like, pretty decent, and they'll see some play, but I don't know if it's exactly what their classes needed for them to take the next step. But that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you so much for watching, and if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.